so many in your world, they're saying, oh, well, it's a big old jump from the third to the fifth dimension. Well, in fact, you're all actually already in the fourth dimension. So it's kind of a time to realize that, in fact, you're not going to have to make that kind of leap. What you are going to, in fact, have to do at a certain point, if you wish to up the dynamics of your frequency, up the dynamics of your dynamics of energy, you are going to absolutely need to claim and accept that you are a divine being, that in the oneness of consciousness, in the oneness of all that is, you have complete responsibility for your existence. And as you gain more and more of that, you gain more and more mastery of your reality. And that's the shift of energy that is going on right now. And each and every one of you are going to do it. You're going to either do it kicking and screaming. You're going to either, some of you are going to wind up in a fourth dimensional experience.
In a what?
Fourth dimensional experience.
You said fourth. I was like, am I missing something?
But the fourth dimensional experience is one that includes Jesus and Yahweh and all of these other gods and energies and non-seen as well as seen dynamics of the physical world. And so not only do you have the dynamics of your physicality, but it's also understanding the dynamics of your non-physicality and how that dynamic plays in with your consciousness and your awareness. And as you do that, you realize that you're enveloped in a dynamic of energy that includes all of this dynamic of belief. And that is the dynamic of where the physical universe is. And so once you start getting beyond the physical universe and beyond that dynamic of understanding that you are separate, that you are not a part of the unity, that you is, as long as you're in that dynamic of separation, you'll never be able to move to that fifth dimensional experience. But it's only when you can soften your dynamic and really claim the dynamic of your divinity, of who you really are, that you can begin to move into that fifth dimensional experience. But again, right now it's fourth dimensional, and especially for those of you that are awakening in that sort of way, if you can begin to imagine that you're living inside of an energetic globe of belief. Mm-hmm. And within that dynamic energetic globe of belief is all physicality, mm-hmm, plus all non-physicality. Mm-hmm. So, but then the realization of that allows one to step out of that dynamic, because that's where you find the duality. The duality only will exist between the third and fourth dimensional experience.
Not between the fourth and fifth.
No, once you move to the fifth, you begin to move out of that dynamic of duality. Duality becomes an option.
Right.
No, we realize that none of you have a real idea of what that means, but we thought we'd hang the carrot out anyway. A little bit. Yeah. Go ahead, Adrian.
Well, you're saying just so, because that just went right through my head, like
that's why it's on tape.
Right. But that you're talking about that level of separation that one experiences in the 4D, but that's necessary in order to make the choice to move beyond it into the unity.
Well, but you see, isn't that what you're finding? That now we've given you a dynamic of a realization. Okay, the realization is you're living inside of a globe of belief. Mm-hmm. That includes all of the dynamics of physicality, can include all of the aliens, all of the galactic federations. It can include all of that shit. Dead people. It can include all of the gods, all of
Goddess.
the goddesses.
Right.
It can include Jesus. It can include Yahweh. It can include Jehovah. You know, we can go on. Buddha, and you know, and all, and on and on and on. Well, it's all contained in this dynamic of belief. And when you realize that you're trapped in this dynamic of belief, and all you really have to do is realize that you can step out of that matrix. It's really a dynamic of just stepping out of it.
All right, you're using the word matrix.
Why not?
All right, but you're also saying that one has to own that one is in it first.
One has to realize that one is in it. You don't have to really own it.
Okay.
If you begin to realize it,
Mm-hmm.
if you begin to see it,
If
you begin to experience
is a good word.
The channel had a vision in that sort of way that he was like inside of a dynamic of the universe that was written as a map, as a three-dimensional, as a dynamic of a map that included, it was almost within a dynamic of a cube. And there was a dynamic of all of the physicality that could be mapped and put within, but there was also all of the dynamic of the in-between energy.
The other dimensional, non-physical. Yes.
Right. And so, you know, again, but a realization that as long as you continue to play in those realms, that's where you're going to play. But the choice to step out of that dynamic begins to give you, what shall we say, a more expanded experience.
More freedom, too.
Well, if you can move beyond the fear. How? Back around again. Bang, bang, ladies and gentlemen.
Back to fear. Well, that is a great unknown.
Fear?
No, the beyond.
Well, for some of you. Well, it's an exploration, isn't it? You know, it's not like, oh, you thought it was just going to happen? that you're going to be able to move to a fifth dimensional experience without having to put forth any effort whatsoever? And when has that worked before?
So the fear would keep one trapped in there.
The fear keeps one trapped in separation. Separation keeps one trapped in division. Division keeps one trapped in constriction. Constriction keeps one trapped in separation. Separation, and sounds like a karmic tape loop to us.
I feel like
one that keeps you involved in the dynamic of fear. But you have to also understand that the reason it keeps you locked into that dynamic is because it comes from your reptilian brain. And your own reptilian brain only allows you to have 4 different options.
Fight, flight, freeze, fawn.
That's it. That's it. All right. Again, remember the dynamics of fear. Become intimate with your fears. Become intimate with your fears, and they will dissipate. All right, we love you all so very, very much. And so, until tomorrow, we close. Sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.